Okay, good morning class. So for today we will discuss about the four types of speech. So any idea, all of you, what is speeches for you, by the way? Um, what 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 is the first that comes in your mind about speech? Any idea? So let's proceed. So, according to the book, it says that four basic types of speeches are to inform, to instruct, to entertain, and to persuade. They are not mutually exclusive of one another. You may have several purposes in mind when giving your presentation. For example, you may try to inform an entertaining style. Another speaker might inform the audience and try to persuade them to act on the information. So that is one of the examples. So I know that some of you, that comes in my mind when we say speech, it talks about freedom, to speak in public, to say something, or it's time for you to speak, to share. I think that was coming from your mind about speeches. But did you know that there are four types of speeches? So let's find out and let's discuss about the four. Number one is informative or inform. The word itself, inform. Someone is informing to you. I know that some of us know what is informative or informations, right? This speech serves to provide interesting and useful information to your audience. Some example of informative speeches. Okay, let's try to for you to able to understand clearly about the informations. Let's talk about the examples. Okay, for example, a teacher telling student about earthquakes. So the teachers telling about, or the teachers inform his or her student about the earthquake. Maybe I think it's a drill, or maybe it's a topic, or in the discussions inside of the classroom. So the teachers inform her student about the earthquakes. So it is about the informations, how to avoid, how to during the earthquakes, So that's, I think, one of the informations. And let's find out about the second example is about a computer programmer speaking about new software. So this time, someone is informing you, and he or she speaking about the new software of maybe a laptop, or about the technology rather. We have this as of now today, we can see there are new models of phones, laptop, technologies, which is the company informing us to buy for it. They inform us the good quality of the technologies rather. They inform us just for us to buy. Like for example, one of the informative quotations, or speaking about it, they post it's either on Facebook or in YouTube about the informations of the phones, and then the amount, they're informing you so that you can buy like that. So did you understand, class? So that is one of informative. The word itself, informative. I know all of, like for this today, I'm informing you what are the four basic speeches. So I just want you to know, to inform to you, so that you know what are the four types of speeches. Did you understand, class, about it? So let's proceed to the number two, the demonstrative speeches. When we say demonstrative or instruction, when we say demonstrative or demonstrations, when we say demonstrative, it talks about an action. The difference is, I think for me, the informations and demonstrative. Information, it talks about your words, right? It talks about your words. But demonstrative, you have to act. You have to take an actions, so that you have something like, for example, you have to bring things so that your student would understand what are you trying to convey, so that your student will visualize, with imagines. Like for example, if you are a coach to a chess, you don't have to say, okay, move to H to number 7, move to A to 8. You don't have to say that. right? But instead, you have to bring the materials for you to able your student would understand what are you trying to convey, what are you trying to instruct, what are you trying to present a demonstration for your student. Did you understand, class? But today, let's find out what are the meaning of demonstrative speeches. This has may similar with an informative speeches. A demonstrative speech also teach you something. The main differences lies including demonstration of how do you think you're teaching. For example, demonstrative. Okay, one of the example here is how to bake a cake. How to bake a cake, where first of all, when you cannot bake a cake without ingredients, procedure, materials, right? But instead, you have to learn, or you have to act yourself. You have to buy materials, you have to know the procedure, the ingredients, so that you can win if you are a teachers, if you I mean an instructor to a school, a culinary teacher. You don't have to discuss, but instead you have to show something picture so that your student would imagine, would visualize it. Like for example, spatula. I know some of the students didn't know what is spatula, right? But instead, you have to show pictures so that they can imagine something in their mind. Oh, that is spatula pala, right? So what else? Okay, how to write a speech. I know some of us we can write a speech, but we can write, but the format itself is we have to follow it. Like I know all of us know as the introduction, the body, and the conclusions, so that your speech would be clear for you to understand. Oh, this is a speech, but aside from it, you have to put something interesting fact so that your audience would catch something. What are you trying to convey, right? You don't have to say right anything in the speech, but instead you have to put something quotations, authors, and favorites, words that can catch the attentions of your reader. For me, I think one of the factors that the student would have an interest to listen to teachers, it's because of the something that, oh, there is something materials, there is something. I think these teachers would present as something new, uniqueness. So I think that is the thing that your student would catch the attentions. So class, let's review the first one, the informative and the demonstrative. Just remember, the informative means to inform. Demonstrative means instructions, like that. You have to instruct, or demonstrative meaning demo. The word itself, demo, demonstration, like that. A persuasive, a speech work to convince people to change in some way. They think the way they do something, or to start doing something that are not currently doing. So persuasive meaning, okay, somehow I just realized before class that when I was in my senior high school before, I always use convince. But instead, there are something new that it sounds good when means persuasive, or persuading. You are persuading, you are convincing something. Like for example, if you are a sales lady into a store or a company, and then you are introducing the product, then you have to convince that this product is really good. For example, a lipstick, diba? You have to convince that this lipstick, if you would use this, you would look so pretty, like that. No, actually, it's not being such a flowering words, but you are trying to say that the product is good, and the quality itself. Like for today, we will try to know what are the example of persuasive. Like we have here, improving your health through better eating. So I know that this artists or people who are trying to share their good life or healthy life, like for example, Willie Ong. He always shares about healthy lifestyle. You know, we can see all the videos and Facebook, YouTube, it's for free, and it is, you can also ask some questions to him. It's either about your health, your conditions, so it's for free, so you don't have to pay for something, but you have just to ask him. And I think that is cool because he is trying to persuade people and convince people to live a life with a better life. So, let's find out. Persuasive in one word, you are trying to convince, meaning convincing, for example, for help, convincing to ask for you to go outside, you're persuading something. And I think, class, that was being the good thing. If we can, the best way we can convince our friends and our families is to help. I think in that way, that I think you can clearly understand what is persuasive, what is convincing. Okay, they are convincing for help, like that. We have here becoming an organ donor, so they're convincing you to help about, and they are asking for someone who is become a donor, right? So number 4, first one is informative, second one demonstrative, the third one is persuasive. Very good. The fourth one is entertaining. So I know that we have this in circle of our friends that become an entertaining or a jester, a joker person in our friends, right? So let's find out the meaning. After the dinner speech is a typical example of entertaining speech. The speaker provides pleasure and enjoyment that make the audience laugh or identify anecdotal informations. So let's find out what are the examples. Clown making balloon animals at child's birthday party. I know when we say clown, one the thing that it comes in our mind is to entertain us, or we enjoy the party or the birthday, right? Okay, one of the example here is Vice Ganda. I know all of us know about Vice Ganda. He can really entertain us because of his brain, that it can really functions well. There are some witty jokes and scenarios in which I know that there are many people love Vice Ganda. It's because of, I don't think so if that's a talent, or maybe it's not a talent, but anyway, class, I know all of you know Vice Ganda. There are so many ways that in ourselves we can entertain, watching videos in YouTube, Facebook, funny videos. I think that was of the thing that we can entertain ourselves, especially if when we were in depression or stress, in our class, in our life, in our families, just watch about the videos and many more, and there is something that we can entertain ourselves. So I think that is one of the 4 basic types of speeches: the informative, demonstrative, and persuasive, and entertaining, class. I hope you learned something from the 4 basic speeches, and after this lesson, you have to apply it to yourself, how to use a speech, right, class? I know some of you learned something from this lessons, because it is really easy to remember. Just remember inform. Okay, what is inform? The word itself, informative. Okay, the second one is demonstrative. Okay, the word itself, demo or demonstrations, right? Okay, persuasive, the word itself, I'm persuading or convincing something, right? Okay, the word entertaining. Okay, the word, I know all of us, when it comes in our mind, entertaining, the word itself, sharing, enjoyment, and making fun, that you enjoy yourselves, entertaining, or you entertain something, or else someone entertain you, right? So I hope you learned something, class, from this lesson. I know it is very easy to remember the 4 types of speeches. So Again, it is informative, demonstrative, persuasive, and very good and entertaining. So, hope you guys see you next lesson and have a good day. And later on, we will have a short quiz, just review something.